Apparently there are 4 winds with which we have to do. In one remarkable instance we find in the book of Matthew, from the Bible, that the elect will be gathered from the 4 winds. And from the book of Daniel, the male goat grew 4 horns, one of them the terrible little horn, which protruded, perhaps touched, the 4 winds, an effect or power which could pull heavenly beings down to earth. And again from the book of Revelation the 4 angels stand at the 4 corners of the earth holding back the mysterious 4 winds which, we must assume, are entwined with humanity and the fate of the world. The language of the 4 corners of the earth, it is passively assumed, merely implies the entire world. But I wonder if there is a geography in this that is yet elusive. The 4 winds, whatever they are, and for whatever reason are at least confined or named after dedicated directional vectors. The north wind, the south wind, the east wind, the west wind. The man of God, Francis Miles, says the 4 winds are living beings of some kind, and points interestingly to the east wind which came upon Job, from the Bible, in a sort of fury and specificity that may indeed suggest a kind of anomalous living creature. And there is an angry wind that rose up against the little boat Jesus had slept in crossing the lake, in which story, it is clearly suggested, Jesus was angry at the wind, rebuking it, in the manner one would only rebuke something alive, or something that trespassed. Now we are gradually descending into a water of understanding that is too deep, and in this deep water of uncertainty I am trying to link the earth itself to the 4 winds. I can accept that the earth itself is a living being of sort, but I cannot understand it quite, and then we come across the mystery of the divided earth as pointed out to us, as though with indifference, in the book of Genesis. And to Eber were born 2 sons. One was named Peleg, because in his days the earth was divided. Our nearest logic suggests that it speaks of continental drift, or some dispersion of some kind. Could it be that the earth, whatever it is, was split in dimensional divisions? The same earth exists in other layers, and is expressed differently in each layer. It never said the continents or humans were divided. It said the earth was divided. Even this idea does not help me much to answer the mystery of the 4 winds, nor does it help me much to explain the notion that humans live inside things. That we live in our bodies inside a 3rd-dimensional universe is true, to a point, but not inspiring. I believe we are also living at the same time in other worlds, which may or may not be quite an earth, but it is a world. Now there are dimensional worlds and heavens and underworlds, but there are also worlds which are not quite worlds. They are subworlds, more like ambiences or states, with at least a little geography, at least the geography of a space because it can absorb us into it. They are not small bubbles, they are more flat planes and vast. Horizontally they reach the entire cosmos, but they are underlayers. Our location or absorption into this subworld is a function of our thoughts, our consciousness. When we do not think eternally in scope and hope, when we fix with focus on the natural world as the only interface, and when we have generally unclean thoughts, this subworld absorbs us. I saw this in my inner mind. Consciousness, however free-floating, demands location. A thing cannot exist without location, and the material earth, as a single state, is unable to absorb or house consciousness. Now when the mind of the brain, one without light of truth, thinks about poverty the whole time, or equally, wealth the whole time, the demand of this fixation demands a sublayer world which absorbs us. Because worlds can swallow. On a nearby note, in a dream once I may have seen the 4 winds. In the dream I was walking and soon running at mighty speed on a small path. I started running because these somewhat invisible winds were blazing over the path. These winds were fierce and terrible, and could cut me in pieces. They were cutting like a blade. So I ran full speed and survived to the top, and heard the word, Keter. Now Keter, mystically, is not quite apparent to me, even as I had read up on it. For the moment I am thinking of Keter as the sharp pitch of consciousness of self-awareness, and when I reconcile this mind with the wind, I conclude that our minds can affect the 4 winds. In my inner mind last night I saw 2 witches with grey tattered robes dancing in the astral air, or wherever they were, casting spells and darkness in their mindless wickedness. I prayed. I felt that I should topple them from their locality, the platform they are on, topple them down from there. Then I commanded the east wind against them, to topple them down. In the meantime let us not keep the past as a world, and if it is a world let the past serve us, Because the past cannot be ignored, the present moment depends on it, but the past must be changed. For the most part, one wonder if we humans are not halflings of some kind, not in shape, but in what us in the light of truth do with the past. We live in newness, in the present moment, but in our mind we cement the past as though it remains the past and unaffected by our righteous condition. This is a halfway way of the halflings. Instead, when we stand in the present moment in righteousness, we must take this righteousness back to our beginning point. I extend it back to my beginning, so not a past which can accuse, not a past which retains a say in the present moment. Because the past is always due, the past always births, the present cannot exist without the point of the past. So let us with intention and feeling clear our past, because the past is due.